Many of us call ourselves Christians, but how many of us actually believe in Jesus? Honestly, this is a genuine question, and it's a question I didn't even think to consider until today. I have a project in statistics, and the point of this project is we're trying to find a proportion of a certain population. We gain a sample, has to be random, just a random group of people. Pick, maybe say out of a group of 200 people, you pick 20. But you don't just find the first few people you see that are standing in front of you. You may call on one person, you may say, all people with red shirts, come here. And so, my project in particular, there's a question that we have to answer. And my question was, what is the proportion of U.S. teens who are Christian? And at first I thought it was a decent question because I wanted to figure it out. And the way we find this out is at my school. She let us go out into the school because my school also has like a break time. So they'll come out, they'll get snacks, and they'll chill for maybe a few minutes because my school is a career-based school. And while I was out, I was walking up to random students saying, hey, are you Christian? And I would record the people that said yes. I would record the people that said no also. And in order for this project to work, I have to have at least 10 yeses and 10 nos. And so I start marking everybody. And as I'm marking people, I even mark some of my classmates. And I had more yeses than nos. And the problem that I have with that is I didn't even know that they were Christian. I couldn't tell at all from their behavior, from anything. And some of these people I knew, but their lives didn't reflect their belief in him, if that makes sense. Which added to my confusion because I was expecting it to be 40 no's and maybe 10 yeses. But I had 27 yeses and barely made it to 20 no's. And while I was doing that, I was just thinking, like, how could I have not known that there were so many Christians at my school? And then one of my classmates told me that I should have actually changed my question to how many teens believe in Jesus? And when he said that, I was like, whoa. Because that would have actually probably changed my findings a whole lot drastically. Because it's easy to call yourself a Christian, but if you don't believe in him, are you a Christian? Are you really a Christian? Do you believe in what he said? Do you believe in his promises? Do you believe in the gospel itself? Or do you just go to church, play church, leave, go out to eat, and then go back to doing what you're doing? And that's a lot of the problem with our generation right now, is that they play church, but then they go back to the world. They go back to their phones, what's popular, TikTok, Instagram, being the biggest star on social media. But little do they know it's not going to work, and it's not going to last either. And that's what I try to get my peers to know. But it's like it's heartbreaking because I can see the amount of struggle they go through. And it reminds me of what I used to go through before I found Jesus, before he found me in my place, before I realized that he saw me already. Because he knows us. He let me go through everything I went through. And one day, this week is supposed to be a reminder of who we call our Savior. during this entire week, he was in Jerusalem, preaching, changing things, waking people up, being celebrated, and being ridiculed by his own people. And he went through all of that because he saw what he wanted in us. He saw his children, and he wanted us to be reconciled back to him. And so he was like, I'll go through this 100 times because I want you guys. I want you to do my will. And I want to exalt you. I don't care about the world and what it has to offer. I want you. That is what the cross gives us. That is what his sacrifice gives us. And it didn't stop at the cross. He rose after that, after 3 days. That is what this week is supposed to remind us. That is what we celebrate. We celebrate his sacrifice for our shortcomings, for our falsehood. And I don't think a lot of my peers see that, despite being raised in Christian households. There needs to be a change. They need to see who he is. And not just that, to have faith in him. Without faith, you might as well just go to church, sing a song, and then go to sleep. And then stay asleep. The rest of the week, nothing else matters if you don't have faith. If you don't have faith in him, how can you ask him for things? You're not going to get it. You don't believe he'll give it to you. How can you believe in his promises? You don't even have the faith that he's telling the truth. How can you trust in his resurrection if you don't have faith in his being altogether? This is a question we need to ask ourselves. It's a question I've asked myself, and I didn't realize I didn't have the proper answer. Many times I've been caught testing myself when really he was watching all along, waiting for me to come back, waiting for me to wake up from my unbelief, waiting for me to realize that he was right there, still being true to his promises, because he ain't a liar. If he said he will never leave you nor forsake you, he's going to be right where you left him, where you left him, and he will call you back, and you better go back. How many of us actually believe in our Savior?